Well, beloved dub, but it's a beautiful day. At least the basics for now are covered, so it's not a big deal. I can pretty much kind of head back to my little hobbit hole and not even have to really leave. At least until the evening. Try to make a few dollars. That's about it. Literally, I could even... Shit. If my damn check showed up today, I'd be making... Checks showed up today, I'd be making one trip down. And then to cash it, of course. That's an hour-long walk there and back, basically. Half hour there, half hour back. So... That's almost $400. That's like almost 2 weeks behind now. Not 3 if you count the cell phone check that never showed up either. So, I've already contacted the pay center once. I think it was Thursday or Friday last week. Let them know nothing showed up, right? Let's see if I can get a better going here. Kind of need to build an extended kickstand for this thing. I got I don't know. I haven't run into the right people that are kind of more hip to the like esoteric and occult supernatural studies. You know. I was actually talking about it at the church. I didn't record it, but that's because I do some of my public speaking there directly. And some of my storytelling used to happen over there too at the cemetery, so go figure. Yeah, good acoustics. So, you know, there's a difference. I don't have to believe in something to study it. I understand that's the thing. Things really do have the power you give them. In fact, thoughts have the power you give them too. So, and that's important. It's almost imperative to understand that when you research anything outside of the scientific mainstream. The power of suggestion is a variable. It does exist. In fact, actually, there's a lost art to that. It's a whole other thing. But not a ground I'm willing to go on. That's why I'm very much against hypnotism and hypnotherapy and all that shit. Nah, I'd rather do like dream therapy, if that makes sense. You know, the natural process of your subconscious bringing things to the surface instead of someone auto listing and suggesting. So, when you fuck around with parapsychology, like I do, you have to remove that power of influence as a variable completely. Like get a sterile type laboratory standard established. Studying the paranormal. Alright? So here we go. So I'd be, alright, Japanese scientist, I forget his name, as a spinning example of this. Because you can spin this 1,000 times and it's going to reap the benefits and the results. Okay, the Japanese scientists have found out that emotions affect the freezing crystalline structure harmonically, bioharmonically, kind of like how trees and all that works, right? Branches, stems, and roots. Anyway, bet you didn't know about the Venus flytrap. Of course it was all down to surface tension. Duh. Anyway, but here's a funny thing about the scientist, the Japanese guy, and the feelings, emotions, specifically, and feelings, and prayers. Born from that measure. Prayers a little bit on the outside of that spectrum. So think of it as a bunch of Venn diagrams, okay? So anyway, because there was attempts to repeat the results, it works for some and not others. Here's the difference. Did you think the emotion or feel it? There's wisdom biomechanically right out of the damn writ. Only fools seek a sign. Things have power, you give them. But a true sign, you can only describe it. You don't know what the fuck you saw. Unless it tells you its damn self, straight to the horse's mouth, right? Then again, you never look at a gift horse in the face, right? So anyway, in those same experiments, I could take a ghost, speaking of the dead, some dark side science here, people, and I can leave it on a grave of a solution. You know, with all the genetic particulates there. And place it on top of the grave in a jar of glass. And copper helps too, and gold. Now you can see why silver disperses, actually biochemically why it disperses the frequency modulation harmonic. Alright, ancient studies. Gold represents the sunshine, golden light, the day ball. The moon equals silver, because all it can do is reflect. That's the wisdom. There's the equation part people fucking miss. Silver, just like the moon, can reflect, only can reflect that back. Get it? Getting knowledge and wisdom. The same way day and night plants work too. Look at their mineral constitutions. Biotech much? Come on now. I said, bubble of a dub-dub. Need I go on? So that means I can literally get a soul in a jar instead of cloning them. I can rebuild your great-great-great-grandmother from her own bones just by her harmonics. I don't need, and then a fresh saline solution with all the biochemical nucleositides that begin constructing proteins like, I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that in the movies closely, otherwise I'd have to hybrid a couple things I've seen. Let's see here. We got reconstitution, Dragon Ball Z mixed with what the fuck? There was another let's keep it simple. Dragon Ball Z meets the Generation Chambers meets the Fifth Element. And then one more variable. It's another sci-fi where there's space colonies already. I can't remember the title. It's Ecelium or something. And anyway, they go to take her daughter to get to one of these healing pods. Looks like a medical examiner's table from Star Trek on steroids meets Star Wars, basically. Star Wars regeneration technologies. Anyway, there's a reason why the 9 Unknown Men called a lot of this science forbidden. It's like, shut up and let your grandma die already. That's what she said. Not everybody wants to live forever, kids. You can't force that onto somebody. No better than, here's the worst part, because it's on the same line of what I'm just saying. I put a frickin' glass jar on your ancestors' grave and can bring them back from the harmonics with the genetic solution alone, from the bones of their frickin' marrow. Nothing else required. And I will have a duplicate, genetic harmonic, chemical constituted, crystalline lattice structured, otherwise known in this term and age, DNA, of your ancestor that I can then implant into an embryo. Or I can grow her from scratch. But all the proteins fed the whole time. The process is slow. You cannot accelerate it. Painful, frankly. Thank you. No, because once they start regaining consciousness, because their harmonics will call back their soul. Once their harmonics call back their soul at that level, yeah, they get to basically feel their bodies regrow themselves. It's like lion's mane for brain damage. Get it? Now at that point, yeah, we can add a few different constitutes, but they're not going to come back the same at that point physically, biochemically, but their consciousness and soul will. And they'll be deeply confused on why they have super strength and shit like that. Okay? We've done that before. Look in India. I'd rather use biostatic electrical conductivity any day over that method. Thank you. Anyway, my shenanigans aside, and my dire warnings, if you didn't catch that memo, that was a bit of a... Hey, that's how I'm regrowing my wings, if you can't tell. Biostatic carbon nuclear calcitides. See? It works. Now I need to figure out one thing. It's highly experimental. What my wings need to catch so they're more visible. I don't know if I need to just throw dust on them or something, or get the bright lighting on it. And even that advancement that I did on that took a lot of fucking work. And then it come out of nowhere. I have to do biochem with this body as the main proximeter. With the proper minerals, biology, and chemistry, and electricity, and biostatic kinetic considerations, and temperatures. Enough for your brain to go cross-eyed and backwards, inside out. And right back to normal again and go, where the fuck did I just go? Need I say more? Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't know how much bulk internet I have left, and I want to get this one uploaded.